This is the Tarion desk camera mount stand. I picked this up off Amazon. This is the best camera arm I've ever used. It is strong enough to hold up my mirrorless camera. It can be clamped to any desk under 2 inches thick. The main reason I like this camera arm is because it can get about 4 or 5 feet off my table. It's long enough for very good overhead shots. I can adjust this to any position, any angle on my desk. It's very versatile. With my camera and my lens, it's about 4 pounds. This arm holds up very well. There's no flexing. It's very strong and very durable. There's no wobbling. There's no wiggling. This thing is built tough. It can rotate and be adjusted for about any precise angle. This camera arm will allow 180-degree tilt, 360-degree rotation. It can be individually adjusted for each gear joint. The most weight it can hold is 6.6 pounds. The build quality is really good. The arm can be adjusted horizontally or vertically for more versatility for this product. With the arm fully extended up, it has a maximum height of 41 inches. One of the main reasons I like this arm, there's 3 joints that keep everything nice and secured. Within the last few years, I've tried a lot of different arm mounts. Any of the ones with ball joints are the worst, and this one is just built better overall. I've been using this for over a year now, and it's still going strong. With my current setup, how I record, I'm looking for a bigger screen I can look at while I record to make sure everything is in focus, compared to like a smaller 2-inch screen from my camera, which brought me to this field monitor. You can pick this up right now off Amazon. The price point is very competitive to the market. This is the OC-T5 Plus. It's a 5.5-inch screen with 1000 nits of brightness. It has a contrast ratio of 1001. It only weighs 175 grams, so it's pretty lightweight. It has 2 metal 1/4 screw holes, so it can be bracketed to a variety of different gear depending on the situation. This is by far one of my favorite field monitors to date. The main selling point I liked about this is the 1000 nits of brightness, so it gets very bright outside. Some field monitors only do about 400 nits of brightness. Even in direct sunlight, it's very hard to see what you can record. So that's the main selling point about this field monitor for myself, is the 1000 nits of brightness. Inside the box, you get the USB Type A to Type C cable, the HDMI to the micro HDMI cable, which is kind of small. You get the L bracket for the top of your camera, which goes on your hot shoe mount. You also get a small carrying cloth to keep it nice and safe while you travel, so the screen does not get scratched. You also get the instructions inside the box. Right off the bat, this does not come with a battery. With any field monitor, it does not come with a battery. With this field monitor, you have the option of either going with a Sony or Canon battery. You have the on and off switch on the back side. It takes a couple seconds for it to boot up. On top, you have a micro SD card slots for updates. You have your audio input. On the side, you have the HDMI slot. There's also another slot for like a trigger. You do have 1/4 threading on top and on the side. If you want to hook it up to any camera accessory, you don't want to use a cold shoe mount for your own setup or your own gear. Just to have multiple threadings, because I can use this different ways in different setups. You're not just stuck with just one way. You can either go from the bottom or the side. The main selling point I like about this is the 1000 nits of brightness. Not many field monitors can really get that bright. The resolution for this panel is 720p. It has decent viewing angles. Some people want 1080p, but 720 should be fine here. Everything is controlled through the red switch on the side. This is not a touchscreen. This is not a touchscreen. Everything is controlled through the red joystick. I like it like this because I don't like having a bunch of smudges or fingerprints on the screen. Navigating the menu is pretty straightforward. You just click through the screens. You can customize all the shortcuts on different pages. You can customize this with however you want. All of your normal functions are here, from zebra stripes to focus peaking. All of those functions are built in here. The 1E-T5 is a very good mid-range field monitor. The price point is very competitive. It gets 1000 nits of peak brightness. The viewing angles are pretty good. You can either use Sony or Canon batteries. It has the threadings to mount it on the side or the bottom, which I do really like. This is one field monitor I've been using for a while, and this is really one to be checked out. This is the Ulanzi Super Camera Clamp. It has 2 different ball head joints. It offers 360 degrees range of motion, perfect for anyone out there who has a GoPro or an action camera. More or less, I do like to use this with my own in-home setup. I like using this for my field monitor. It's a normal C-clamp with 2 ball head joints. You can clamp this to about anything really to to give your action camera that precise shot you want to record. The maximum weight is 3.3 pounds. It has a maximum opening distance of 2.3 inches. The standard thread in here is 1/4 inches, so it should work with most camera gear or camera accessories. This is a female to female adapter. I can hook everything together. This is another adapter I use to give it more of a longer reach. With my setup here, it gives me complete fluid range of motion. I can attach it to my field monitor and I can clamp it to whatever I'm shooting in my office. I can attach it anywhere up and down on my camera arm. While I watch myself record, I can make sure everything is in focus on a bigger screen compared to a smaller 2-inch screen, which is significantly a bigger difference while recording, just to make sure everything is good so I don't have to spend extra time recording and redoing certain parts. But this clamp from Ulanzi is fairly inexpensive. It does what I need it to do. Simply, I just need it to clamp to my table, my desk, my camera arm. I've had this for about a year or two now, and it's still going strong. The grip itself is really strong. I've never had this drop on me yet. This is the perfect camera accessory to pick up, but the possibilities with this are pretty much endless. My original micro HDMI cable, which came with my field monitor, is very small. I wanted one which was bigger, beefier, and longer. With a field monitor, I like to record on a bigger screen because my camera might be 4 or 5 feet in the air, really hard to see on a 2-inch screen, so having a field monitor is really good, and having this longer micro HDMI cable just helps my overall setup. It's longer, it's braided, it's 3 feet, it gets the job done. I'm able to adjust my camera arm in any position because the cable that connects my camera to my field monitor is so long. I can attach the arm I use for my camera with my tabletop. I can adjust my camera and my field monitor in any orientation, any position, without having either of them snag because the cable is too short, and with this one, it gets the job done.